DLC versus DLC-less.
Yeah, that doesn't make a difference during the race, though. And it looks like
No.
we're starting the race now.
Yep, above the capital city as well, which we're escaping from. Well, we aren't, but the runners are.
So I don't know if we're going to see anything from Sekanor stream, so we're just going to have to comment on what ethmar is doing. So this boarding section is quite straightforward. You just try to avoid cars and jump off of all the ramps. Don't hit any walls. Gets through it pretty cleanly.
Yeah. That turn right there with the S-bend, it's very difficult to get casually, but once you start getting used to the board, you should be able to make it no problem.
He does mess up the city escape skip setup a little bit, but he does get an attempt. And he gets it! That's the city escape skip, he got it. He is going to have to deal with the backwards camera here, but he has practiced that, so he does know how to attempt this rail section with backwards cam. We're seeing a very nice rail section with backwards cam here.
This is actually a very
This is a very good, so far a very good city escape for a race. Could end up under 1 minute 30 seconds.
Well, that's what he's probably hoping for.
Unfortunately, he doesn't stick to that last hill. And he gets a 129. That's pretty good. That's definitely going to give him a major advantage. Unfortunately, we can't really comment on what Sekanor is doing right now. It's not on the stream. But if I had to take a guess, I'd say ethmar has a huge lead right now.
Yeah, maybe that 30 or 40 second gap you were talking about is coming in handy for ethmar.
This game of tag is
we got no timer on Sekanor's end. Probably just refreshing things.
And I still don't even... I'm looking at his stream too. It doesn't seem like he's online. Although I'm not even sure.
I'm just gonna assume he has internet issues and watch this Bigfoot fight play out. Now what you want to do...
Yeah, so ethmar's getting really clean hits. The trick with that, if you're using the front box there, you want to make sure you keep all of your speed while you're turning, while you're jumping off the box, so that you can immediately hit Egg Golem. It gets a really nice fight. It that was a 21, I think. That's about what you'd expect from the top runners. So that's pretty good. Ooh, ethmar sees a free piece here. That's an early piece you can get out of order between 2 stone statues. And takes a little bit of extra time getting this piece because the wind tunnel can be kind of hard to deal with. Looks like he's going to be getting a fairly good layout. 24, that's a little bit above average. Just a little bit. So this run right now for ethmar is pretty good.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah, CE skip isn't frame perfect, but it is very precise. It's precise and it's based on a lot of different factors that can change whether or not it will work. And it has to do with storing your speed over the speed pad. By spin dashing over the speed pad, you can just store whatever speed you had before it without ever interacting with the speed pad. And this enables you to get much more speed than intended, and you can get out of bounds that way. Anyway, that was a fairly standard Eggman fight coming into Prison Lane here. Very technical stage. A lot of corners that you're going to see ethmar jumping around. Ooh, attempts that little fence hop there, but it messes up and backs up with the elevator. Gets on the elevator at a high 38. That's fairly quick. He could get under 1 minute and 40 seconds with this time. Ethmar with the 1:36.99. That's a very clean time. He did make a small mistake towards the beginning, so he missed the 1:34, but that's still a very respectable prison lane time. It's
Yeah.
definitely quite difficult to get under 1 minute and 40 seconds. There's a lot of small details that go into that stage.
And it is looking like Sekanor is actually getting going here, so good to know that his connection is back up. And we'll finally be able to see his speed, hopefully.
So yeah, Nettle Harbor, very technical Sonic stage. A lot of places that you can accidentally die. Ethmar gets that 19 upgrade. That's a relatively safe upgrade time there.
Yeah. Also, successfully gets the jump over the pad there.
It's going for pulley skip. It's a very precise jump there. And he gets it, which is nice. That's a very risky move that saves about 2 seconds.
And we're also gonna see a rocket skip. Oh!
He misses the first rockets. He misses the first 2 rocket skip attempts.
Can you get the third?
Third try.
Wait, what's that time? Was that like 6?
It looks like he had 5 seconds left on the clock there.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty shaky. He definitely lost a good 8 seconds there, I'd say. Currently, we don't know where Sekanor is in the race, for people asking in chat. We're having stream issues.
Barely made it.
Yeah, those two rockets, those missed rocket skips, unfortunately, costing him a decent rank in this thing. Rank isn't what's important, at least not in a speedrun. It's more how fast you go.
Yeah, we don't really care about getting high scores or anything, so the ranks you get don't matter.
You're comparing yourself to me? Huh? You're not even good enough to be my
I'll make you eat those words.
There's no time to play games. You won't even get the chance. I'm the coolest. I see.
Shuck it. So we're actually having technical difficulties capturing that stream. It's not that he hasn't started yet. Honestly, I'm curious what this means in terms of the tournament. Will this race be counted? Because we're not really seeing much gameplay from Sekanor, because it's just getting dropped entirely, pretty much. Maybe this might just default a win to Ethmar. We don't really know at this point.
Alright, so we have just heard from Feasel that Sekanor doesn't have a good enough connection for streaming at the moment, so whilst he is still racing, ethmar will be the only feed for this racing.
Yeah, that's just the unfortunate part about this. Sometimes people don't have good enough internet to stream, and it's not really their fault. Yeah, it's just unlucky. Anyway, we're seeing Green Forest right now.
That's a very risky
there is a trick about halfway through the stage. Oh, he gets the first wall run. Doesn't quite make it all the way to the top of the wall there. But there's another wall run, which is much scarier, because he basically is going to try to trigger loop speed mechanics. Oh! That's a big mistake. He misses the spring there. He went to hit that top spring without hitting the enemy, so that saves some time, but he missed. So essentially, he can trigger loop speed mechanics outside of a loop, which will just send him flying and enable him to run on just about any surface. He gets a bad angle with the loop speed shot, so he just falls to his death. Attempting it again, gets another bad angle. I don't know if he'll attempt it again or not.
Yeah. Anybody notice those last 3 digits on ethmar's timer every time he falls in the water?
I haven't. I didn't see anything.
Alright, well, remember when I said, like, 666 at the end? He actually got that. But it's about to go because he's gonna touch this checkpoint, I think. Nope, missed it. We just gotta hope he gets good luck here.
Oh, yeah, that's a very safe. It's a very safe checkpoint to skip if you know what you're doing there, which he does. And he does an alternate loot skip there because he missed the first one. Never seen anyone do that before, so yeah, quite interesting. Very nice backup.
And we are now seeing City Escape. Sekanor side.
I'm assuming whatever we see from Sekanor's stream is just going to be highly inaccurate, and it's going to be way too far behind. So,
yeah, maybe let's just assume he's on either Meadow Harbor or Green Forest right now.
He's probably a lot further ahead than what is being shown currently. So just honestly ignore what's being shown there for now.
Yeah. In the meantime, we got 3 pieces here on Pumpkin Hill. You're gonna get the first upgrade for Knuckles, which is the... Well, I don't even know. He skipped it.
Oh yeah, you can skip that little upgrade cutscene by grabbing a hint right before you enter it. That will just skip the dialogue for the upgrade. So the rocket path is in the middle of Pumpkin Mountain, so he'll be going there. Sad-eyed Pumpkin, that's pretty nearby, so that's very nice. 42 is a little bit below average, I'd say, for a run.
Yeah, this is perfect.
So Mission Street's a very cycle-based stage. There are 2 sets of platform cycles that ethmar is going to have to make. And the first one is based on getting a trick called the Wait Hover. So first he'll pick up the Hover upgrade, and then he'll try something called a Pause Buffered Hover Jump. So what this essentially is by adding pauses in between your A inputs here, you can trick the game into thinking your A inputs are very close together, and this gives you more height for your hover. So yeah, he got on top of that weight with no problem. So right now he's on pace to make the 0th cycle. Our naming conventions for the cycles, we call everything first cycle if it's the fastest thing that we know to be possible. So after we discovered this cycle, instead of just changing everything, we called it 0th cycle. So that's the cycle he's currently going for right now. He's on pace for it. It's a very tight cycle to make, so if he makes over a second of mistakes, he might not be able to make it still. Currently looks good to me. Yep, everything looks good. He should be attempting the 0 cycle right here. He needs to get this back cycle, and he makes it. He just makes it. Really nice. That is no joke. That cycle is pretty tough to make. So yeah, this is a fairly good mission streak by ethmar right now. Very, very good. Just about as good as you would expect from a top runner.
I did it!
We don't actually know what the lead is. We can't really comment on that for now.
Tough.
Just a reminder that we're just having streaming difficulties with Sekanor's stream. His internet isn't good enough for streaming right now, so we're really only able to comment on ethmar's run.
I didn't expect the inside of the mines to be like this. This is going to be tougher than I thought.
ethmar misses a free piece check there, and hopefully he doesn't end up getting it, and he didn't. Checks for some other free pieces before grabbing entrance to the abyss. Oh, he gets the monitor clip to Ghost Room. That's a very tricky move. You have to be aligned perfectly behind that hit monitor, and then you have to do a spiral uppercut, and it will push you through the ceiling. It's a really tough trick to get, but he got it, and that saved him some time.
Yeah, this is perfect.
39 for Aquatic Mine is fairly good.
The president must be over there. Let's go.
Anything to say about Route 1?
Oh, okay, so Route Run 1, you're gonna see ethmar snaking back and forth to maintain drifting. So the reason for this is you'll have a much higher speed cap while you're drifting. Essentially, acceleration doesn't happen quite the same while you're in a drift. So you can maintain full boosting speed and full speed from downhills for much longer than you would if you weren't drifting. You also see that he turned his car around just for some extra cool points, I guess. Doesn't save any time to do that. Also, the controls are still the same, so it's not really any harder to do this. So, more about the stage. There are some intentional wall bangs that we use because some of the turns are too tight, and it's a lot faster to bang into the wall than it is to release the A button for the most part. Gets a 221, what looks like a 221 second lap there. So if I had to guess, I'd say he's on pace for a, or I meant 121. He's on pace for about a 216, maybe, right now. So that was one of the intentional wall bangs. The next one is right here. Those are both intentional. And yeah, the rest of it is just rooting in rings and balloons to get as many boosts as you can.
Yeah, I
Looks like I did call that. That is going to be a 216.
No, you missed it by about a second, but
No, it's
still.
going to be a 216. Just wait. Yeah, see, the timer breaks at the end of that stage, and for some reason it subtracts about a second after you see the stage end.
Oh,
Yeah, so if you didn't know that before, now you know.
I forgot about
I think
that.
it subtracts about 0.9 seconds, and I don't really know why, but it does. Okay, so hidden base, very technical tail stage here. There's a lot of tight hover jumps. Oh, takes a hit there. That's fine though. That's not going to lose too much time.
Yeah.
We
Probably.
might be seeing him go for pole hover. No, he's not going to go for it. He's going to
He's gonna
instead.
go for GC skip. Though.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's going for GC skip or corner clip, which is a very sort of precise clip through a corner. If you don't hit that corner exactly, you will get dragged down into the sand.
There's a little bit of a different variation that some runners like to use as well, where they go straight to that corner with the where they aim for like the middle of the corner and just go through that way and head right, rather than taking the way that ethmar just did there.
Yeah, the way ethmar did it was faster and more risky though.
Yeah.
So we're
The other
seeing
way
him
is
get
kind
a
of just like a
57
safe strategy,
checkpoint.
getting so.
Yeah. This is about maybe 6 or 7 seconds behind a extremely fast pace. Ends up missing that, has to take a pause hover as a backup.
Pause are very versatile in this run, it seems. Wonder if ethmar is gonna go up to the monkey thing. Of course. And 2 pause hoppers utilized there since they're out of bounds.
Oh, he misses that third dynamite pack at the end. That costs just a bit of time. You can shoot those dynamite packs early. Save some time there. Ends up with a 151. So that certainly isn't bad. It's certainly a lot better than taking a death or having even more mistakes. But we've seen times in the lower 140s before from ethmar, so about an average in base, I'd say, maybe. Pyramid Cave is a nice technical Sonic stage. It's very hard to get a good time in this first tunnel, and a good time is 12 seconds on the checkpoint, which he did get, which is nice. He's going to be going for an object launch here, using this Chow box and the wall to launch there. The mistake he just made several times in a row there was undercharging the spin dash. I can confirm that. If you undercharge that spin dash, you won't get the launch. And anyway, he picks up the bounce bracelet. This enables him to use super bounces. Normally people super bounce over this wall, but we're instead seeing ethmar attempt a door clip, which he misses. That's a very difficult door clip to get.
Yeah. You only get to try that a couple times in a run, or else start to... very specific setup for this door here. You have to stand on an exact tile and charge spin dash into it before you touch the wall. If you do it right, then you'll be able to clip through the door like ethmar just did there.
Yep.
And it'll save you from having to go all the way to the room with a key and back, which is quite a bit of it. Maybe about 20-25 seconds?
I'd say it's about 20. So it's a pretty necessary skip to have. We also saw him do something called a gravity bounce. That's when you spin dash off of a sloped surface. You can use a bounce to maintain your speed and also maintain a skewed gravity angle. He's doing it again here. Very nice way to save a lot of time in this stage.
Somehow missed the goal ring though.
Yeah, but the important thing is he did not die, so
Oh yeah.
he was able to recover
No
that.
problem.
Yeah, losing a couple seconds compared to losing like 30 seconds, if not more. Good trade-off.
Yeah, dying at the end there is fairly common. We see it a lot, and it also is very costly. So Death Chamber is probably the most technical Knuckles stage. There are a lot of different ways to perform death strats in this stage, and right now we're going to see him attempt Blue Room death strats. So the way Blue Room death strats works is you get a first piece in the Blue Room, and then you're hoping to take a death and spawn a second piece in the Red Room. And he gets that. It's pretty lucky.
It's closer.
The chances of that happening are about 50%, roughly. Above Omochao. So yeah, that's a pretty good set of pieces that ethmar just got. He got the Blue Room first piece, he got the death strats, it worked first try. So this is a very good Death Chamber.
It's closer. I found him.
He gets a 49 with one death. That's pretty much what you would want to see.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Huh? Who's there?
So this particular boss fight, we might be seeing him attempting something called Fireball Skip, or he might try to bait out a bite attack at the beginning. Baiting out this bite attack at the beginning will save about 2 seconds, and he does go for that. He's not going for the full Fireball Skip, but that does save 2 seconds for him. So we could see him pulling out a 1-cycle Boom Boo fight with a 43 on the clock at the end. It's just a real nice way to save a bit of time.
There's a very rare chance as well that King Boom Boo will turn around and cause him to lose that 1 cycle, but not happening here.
Yeah. That turnaround happens when you are too far ahead of Boom Boo when you punch him. You want to be punching him in his tail, pretty much. And if you are too far past his tail, he will turn around. And I'm sure he knows how to avoid that, so he got a very fast Boom Boo.
2 very nice super bounces there from ethmar.
Yep, these super bounces are extremely precise on this boss fight, and he has a very clean Egg Golem boss fight, only missing 1 super bounce. This is a very good Egg Golem.
Fastest I've seen that done in a very long time.
Nice.
Ends up with a 28. That is very good. Very good. So yeah, those super bounces are very tight. You only have a few frames to get into inputs for it. So we're going to be seeing a skip about halfway through this stage that just gets out of bounds and gets right to the end of the stage. And there's a platform cycle that ethmar is trying to make right before that skip. Ooh, right now he's probably not on pace to make the first cycle anymore because he just got hit by that bomb, which is quite a rare mistake. I haven't seen that happen in a long time. Yeah, with a 27 first checkpoint, I don't think he can make the first cycle anymore. It's no longer possible, which on one hand sort of means the pressure is off for him. On the other hand, it does mean he's going to be losing about 8 seconds.
Having to take a pause hover as backup by the looks of it.
Yeah. Depending on where that platform cycle is. Oh, he goes for the weight hop. Ooh, that's a very, very precise move. I actually go for that move, too. You only have, I think, maybe 2 frames to get that jump. 1 or 2 frames. It's really tight. I think it's 2.
And considering that's out of 60, that's 58 chances you won't make it, so that's pretty harsh odds.
Well, it's more like you can tell where the timing is based on just, you know, practice. With enough practice, you can become consistent at that weight hop for sure. But yeah, ethmar getting out of bounds. Looks like his cycle might have been third cycle. This is third cycle. Because he did miss that weight hop, costing him an extra platform cycle there.
Yeah.
So I think the best sort of time we might be able to expect from this would be around 220. Or maybe a little less, yeah. He's playing the ending safe, gets a 219.
What were those? Oh, there are like animals flying. Oh, there's.
Oh, those are the little things that the generator shoots at you at the end.
Yeah, there's like a. Yeah, the generator's like a mini boss at the end of the stage.
Yeah, but we just skip it by flying through the back of it into the goal ring.
Didn't even realize about those missiles until on screen.
So in the floating containers is a good first piece to get. It's right in the middle of the stage, which means he can easily get to any second piece no matter where it is. Dangerous water drops is right at the top. That's a very good second piece. Now if he gets a middle third piece, that's going to be an extremely good layout.
Flashing
Floating
around.
Wow, this is actually a kind of an uncommon piece, if I recall correctly. But yeah, that's a really good layout, a 34. Just very lucky there. A top middle layout is always very desirable.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah. You don't really want any bottom pieces.
Yeah, sometimes you can get bottom to top to bottom, and that's sad. That takes a long time.
Long time no see. Treasure.
So yeah,
That's
34 is
time lost
very, very good, yeah. An average might be 45 from Meteor Third, so 34 is considerably better than that.
If that's how you want to play, I will take it.
ethmar will be skipping the first ring here, because if you know what you're doing, you don't need it to be safe, and it will save a little bit of time to skip it. Gets a 1509, that's a very fast fight. Essentially, after you get the first hit, the rest of the fight is spamming drill dives onto Rouge, and she can't really do anything. So I believe we're going to see ethmar attempt CGSS here. It's a major skip, getting out of bounds very early on in the stage, and hitting the goal ring. We have seen ethmar have some trouble getting out of bounds with this trick, though. It is very tight. There are several kill planes you need to avoid. 3 kill planes, to be precise. So he has to get around all these kill planes and then fall pretty much blindly to the goal ring.
We may not even see him get it on his first attempt, but nope, there's the kill plane.
Yeah, he hit that front kill plane there. Ooh,
And he
takes
took an
another
acid
death.
bath. That's gotta hurt. Alright, so... will it be third time lucky? No.
Yeah.
I kinda wish I didn't say anything. Because now he's dying.
These kill planes are hard to avoid. I personally think they're even harder to avoid if you're using the jump method, which he's using. So I personally go for a spin dash hover off of the box, and I have very good consistency with this trick.
Do you think now that he has no lives, he's gonna go for it one more time, or go for CGS?
I would assume he'd go for it one more time. Yeah, he is.
Fingers crossed.
Nah, he misses it. And he's gonna get a game over here.
Which
just means he
isn't
has to
that
start-
costly, considering he's only been, like, 40 seconds in the stage, but in
Yeah.
real time, that's probably a couple minutes.
So that'll just give him 4 more lives, and he has to start the stage over.
So, are you gonna see CGS now? Or...
Personally, I doubt it. I think he's gonna keep grinding out that CGSS.
Yeah, because once you get it, it does save a fair bit of time, but you have to question if and when it's worth doing it.
CGS, the standard CGS has its own problems too, especially if you haven't practiced it in a while. It has much more moving parts than CGSS does, so there's more parts that can go wrong. So yeah, he's definitely just gonna keep attempting CGSS here.
It's the most profitable out of the tricks.
It saves over a minute over not skipping the stage at all. But at this point, he would be out of the stage if he had done it skipless. So yeah, it is very costly to be inconsistent at this trick.
But it is also very hard to be consistent at this trick.
Yeah, we've only seen a few runners ever get very consistent at this trick. And unfortunately, ethmar is sort of known for being inconsistent at this. And I do believe he is hitting the front kill plane almost every time, so he needs to take a lower starting angle on this jump.
Well, I mean...
And he gets it.
Oh,
he gets
there
out
we
of
go.
bounds, finally.
Sixth sense there, I think, from ethmar, heeding your advice, even though he didn't hear it.
Oh, and he overshoots the goal ring. Too much distance. I could see
That's
that he had a
gotta
lot
hurt.
of distance there. Normally, when you have so much distance, you have to do something to lose it. But he didn't take that action. He's now going to go for CGS. He's going for the standard skip here. He's hesitating
Or
on this
just
jump.
going up the wall. There we go.
Looks
Very
like
nearly.
he's skipping the legend. We call that Chaos the Legend, because it always hits you.
Yeah.
But he just skips it. Normally, people would take a damage boost off of that enemy and then proceed.
Was he stuck?
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky to get onto that ledge at the bottom of the acid room. You have
there
to
we go.
essentially
That
go
should
towards it.
open.
This is his attempt at hitting the goal ring right now.
Fingers
And he
crossed.
gets it. He gets it. Alright, he's finally out of Crazy Gadget. Very, very rough Crazy Gadget for ethmar.
Yeah.
Definitely not his best.
Barely made it.
Might have even given Sekanor a chance to catch up.
Perhaps.
But,
So
he's still
ethmar
got final
has-
rush to do.
Yeah, he's still got 2 bosses and a stage left.
Yeah.
I suspect he'll do fine in Final Rush. I don't know what strategy he uses on the Eggman 2 fight. We might see the AI manipulation for the 14, but no, he's just going to go for a fairly standard fight here. No AI manipulation.
Oh! Using iframes to dodge that laser there, that was very lucky for him.
Yeah, sometimes runners will take an intentional hit so that they don't take damage from the laser, because the laser does double damage.
Yeah.
He does get a 21 on that fight. That's he did lose a few seconds there, but he's not dead.
It's decent. Pretty good fight.
There is an AI manipulation on that fight that pretty much secures 14 second, like 14.5s to 15s almost every time. And I would like to see more runners using it, and ethmar is definitely capable of it. Right now we're gonna see him attempt one of the variants of FR skip. He's definitely going for the standard skip here, which is definitely the safer one. Much, much safer. He might
I
be
don't know
attempting
about
an-
safe. This skip as a newer runner looks very dangerous to me.
Oh yeah, it's certainly very difficult to learn this skip at first, but once you learn it, it's not too hard to master it. And it looks like he gets around the kill planes just fine, so all he has to do right now is hold forward towards the end of the stage and then hit the glory ring. So it looks like ethmar could pull a mid 40 time on this, so a sub 41. Maybe a high
Maybe.
40. A high 40, I'd say. But he'd have to have a nice clean Shadow 2 fight.
Yeah. No
He's
blocks
definitely
from
high
Shadow,
enough
please.
ring here. So, he's good.
Yes!
A nice, relaxed landing.
Yep. So the
Unlike-
Shadow 2 fight, he's going to go for a homing attack pattern. He can get
No problem.
a time as low as a 16-second fight. We tend to aim for mid-16s, and in order to do that, you have to rhythmically homing attack Shadow to manipulate his AI into jumping into the air and homing attacking, and then you want to hit him right after his homing attack runs out,
Before this is
and then start the next set of homing attacks right after he touches the ground here. So he gets that first hit, second hit, nice, third hit, nice. This is gonna be a good fight, I can tell. Yeah, a nice
Wow.
16-24, very fast fight there.
Unfortunately, did not get the sub 41, but still a very good Shadow 2 fight, and pretty decent time to boot.
Yeah, me calling a high 40 was just me being bad at calling times, to be honest.
I don't know. I'd
Well,
say
yeah,
you were
because
ambitious.
I was there's no way to get faster than a low 16 Shadow 2 unless you do incredibly crazy things
Yeah.
that nobody ever uses. So yeah, we're seeing, for the most part, that was a clean run from ethmar, but he definitely struggled a lot in Crazy Gadget. I'm assuming he won that race, though, because that 4105 is still a couple of minutes ahead of his competitor's personal best. So I would assume that is still a victory for ethmar, despite all of the time loss in Crazy Gadget. It also seems to me that we still aren't getting much of anything out of Sekanar's stream, so we might just hand it over to another. We might just host another speed gaming channel. I'm not entirely sure what we're supposed to do right now, to be honest.
Perhaps we could interview ethmar on Crazy Gadget?
I don't know. Oh,
Perhaps
Tommy,
he doesn't want to talk about it. And
Yeah,
honestly,
he
I wouldn't
probably
be
doesn't.
surprised. He did struggle with that skit.
Tommy, I think I know what you're talking about, and yes, you can get a faster time on Shadow 2 by using bounces instead of homing attacks. You can just repeatedly bounce in front of him, move ahead of him a certain distance, and get another bounce hit. But it is tricky, and I haven't seen anyone use it in runs yet, so we'll see about that. That could be a new development. It saves about a second at the last fight. For now, I think I'm just going to assume that Sekanar's stream is not going to be fixed, so I'll just go ahead and say I'm signing off. I've been Jazz Speedruns. And I'm also here with Movalandrone, and yeah, that was an entertaining run from ethmar. Good job to both runners. Unfortunate that we had technical difficulties here.